The Visibility Project is about story. Recognizing that everyone has had a different lived experience during the pandemic, we wanted to hear yours. The good, the bad, the challenges, the triumphs. In a series of podcasts, we will hear from our listeners who answered the questions, what has the pandemic been like for you? And what do you hope we learned during the pandemic?
The pandemic has been rough on me, my family. Work was rough too. We were in the middle of getting ready for a major renovation here at Northwood. We were down to 2 staff members and we had 1 temp person, and we were supposed to be getting rid of 10,000 books, and the pandemic hit. We At first, we went right to remote, and then after we did that, we had to adjust from from remote, and you can't really remove 10,000 books when you're working from home because you have to be where the books are to remove them. And then I had to get used to having 3 children at home and homework. And at first, the school didn't let out that how they were going to run everything. And so it was stressful, get everybody getting their own groove. Eventually, we did get our groove. And then the flood hit. And then I was still trying to support the kids at home, but then I was supporting my Northwood students, and all the databases came crashing down, and I had to get them all up and running. And I remember saying, I cannot do this in one day, and I'm like, I will get them up as soon as possible. And we did. I got them back up so I could support our Northwood students. And then it wasn't just supporting our Northwood students like by databases and books and magazines, but then I was also supporting our students by calling them and making sure that they were doing well, like their well-being and their mental state was okay. So like I was supporting my kids at home and my mental health, and then Northwood students' mental health, and trying to keep everybody positive. It was an experience that I'm like, we did it, we did it as a university and we did it as a family. Then after the flood, we kind of all as a family here at Northwood, we came together and everybody helped everyone. And when I say that, I say it meaning right from the president on down. There was no job that was too big or too small for anybody. We all were willing to pitch in and help one another. Then school year started for the fall of 2020, and my kids were ready to go. And we made it a week. And my daughter was in quarantine. And then right from there, my kids were remote the whole year. I was back at work. My husband has been working this whole time. And I had 3 kids back home remote. And my younger child, it was a little rougher on her. Her friendship base was not as strong as the 2 older ones, just because of middle school and that. So we had some depression issues we had to deal with. But then it wasn't just her with depression. It was like I was in meetings where I was talking with other kids' parents, and their kids were suffering from it. And then, you'd try to do a sport, and then there was peer pressure there too because of the COVID issue. And so after the holidays, I was going to send the kids back, but then my kids didn't want to go back because if one person got it, then they were all quarantined on the team. So just a lot of different things. What did I enjoy from all of this, though? There was some positive. We cooked a lot more. We tried new recipes. We had family dinner time. We got outside a lot more as a family. We appreciated each other a lot more. In the mix of this, we had to worry about my mom and my mother-in-law, and we didn't want to have anything happen to them. And so I missed my mom. I missed my mother-in-law. And, but then things did get better where we were able to see them. And then the severity of that they really needed to get the vaccine. And that was really important to my husband and I. And then there was some depression too, for us, you miss each other. And then the silver lining is that I got more time with my kids than I ever in a million years would have gotten. They're a senior, sophomore this year, and an eighth grader. And I probably haven't had that much time with them since they were a little itty bitty. So I really take that as a blessing, and the extra family time. And my work was a blessing in the fact that they let us work from home and they took good care of us. We had Friday night lights. They gave out toilet paper. They did stuff to stay connected with us. Yeah, so there was a lot of blessings in this too. I too had to shut off from the news. I found it depressing to constantly watch it every morning. It seemed like something negative. And so for my own sanity, I had to shut it off. The other things, what did I learn from this? I think that I really realized that we're not always all on the same page, that we have different views, and that I wish we could come together more. Over the weekend, I heard some people say that during 9/11, we really, really came together, and that they wish we would come together more with this pandemic. So that's kind of my take on everything.
You can stay connected with the Visibility Project by subscribing, liking, and sharing on your favorite podcasting and social apps. Look for us at the Visibility PRJ.
Financial support is needed to keep the conversation going. Go to midlandfoundation.org/give and select the Cultural Awareness Coalition Endowment Fund to be part of the project. Note podcast in your donation notes.
Thank you for listening.
We see you.
We hear you.
And together, we are making a difference.